Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTv News, expanding your view.
Good morning again. This is CoreTv News on the Hour. I am Sheyi Martins. A blast hit Kano on Sunday in a street with many bars and night spots. Scores were feared dead in the explosion, which witnesses say was caused by a suspected car bomb. The blast took place in an area mostly inhabited by Christians from southern Nigeria. The militant Islamic group Boko Haram has carried out attacks in Kano State. Witnesses say that the blast could be heard from several miles away and happened on a busy road lined with bars in the predominantly Christian area of Sebungeri. The blast comes as the Nigerian authorities continue the search for more than 200 schoolgirls kidnapped by Boko Haram. Kano State Police spokesman Musa Majia says it was too early to say if the blast in the Sabungeri area or foreign quarters of the North's biggest city had caused any casualties. But witnesses who lived blocks away told newsmen that they saw at least 4 dead bodies after the explosion. Nigeria and its neighbors have vowed to join forces against Boko Haram under an accord described as a declaration of war on the militant holding more than 200 schoolgirls. Meeting in Paris, Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan and his counterparts from Benin, Chad, Cameroon and Niger approved an action plan to counter Boko Haram. The action plan will involve coordination of surveillance efforts, sharing of intelligence and joint efforts to secure the porous borders in the region. According to the summit's conclusion, the countries also agreed to push for UN sanctions against the leaders of Boko Haram and other group Ansari.
What are we demanding? I'm happy about the meeting that they have just finished in France, because this meeting, which involved the neighboring country, Cameroon, Niger, Chad, and Benin Republic, will help to track wherever these girls are taken to. Because if these girls are truly, as they said, that some are taken to this country, the forces in the country where they're taken to, we have to fish them out.
We expect to see the international community engaging in discussing the issues of our borders. We note that there is a concern within the Cameroon and Chad borders. We note that Boko Haram has operated within the Cameroon borders, and we have seen consistently that there has not been tremendous support from Cameroon in terms of curbing the insurgency. So we believe this meeting would provide a breakthrough in that regard.
We need that sub-regional cooperation. It's a global situation that we have. One country can no longer do it alone, intelligence-wise, in terms of expertise, in terms of the numbers of people who are right there in the front line, joint task forces that can counter the work of the menace of the terrorists. This is so important, and I would consider that when we actually see results, we would know that the conversation in Paris actually yielded effort.
A Sentinel reconnaissance aircraft from the British Royal Air Force had flown in to support the international search for more than 200 kidnapped schoolgirls missing in Nigeria. The aircraft is equipped with a suite of intelligence gathering and surveillance equipment. The state-of-the-art surveillance jet will operate from Accra in Ghana and will join United States aircraft in attempting to locate the girls seized from their school dormitory in Chibok. Others have been positive reactions to the willingness of the international community's involvement in ending the terror unleashed by Boko Haram in the northeast.
Well, the Sentinel's a highly capable and adaptable platform. It's been proven in many theatres so far since 2008. And like many in the public who've seen what's happened in Nigeria, we find it abhorrent. So if we can go and help find those children and return to the parents, then for us it's a good job.
Tomio Joe, her report is presented from our studio.
The incessant terror attacks in Nigeria became a source of worry when 200 girls from Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, were abducted by Boko Haram. Worldwide outcry followed the incidents, which resulted into Nigeria accepting military offers from foreign countries. A renowned professor of arts, Bruce Onagbekweya, says the acceptance of foreign help is a step in the right direction.
I hold what Wale Soyinka said. The issue is now bigger than the government, and the call for international help is in the right place. The international should come in to help us to solve our problem.
According to the arts professor, Nigeria deserves such assistance because the nation had helped other countries in the past.
What we want is that the kind of challenge we have in the country, they should help us through, because we ourselves, we've gone to other countries to help them before. We've gone to Congo, we've gone to Liberia, we've gone to Sierra Leone, we've gone to other places to help in fight international wars, fight international issues, and help those places. Now we need this help.
He admonished that Nigerians should be optimistic about the success of 2015 general elections.
I am always very optimistic. I look at the better side of things. I have a sincere belief that the 2015 election is going to come out right, and this country is going to have a democratically elected president, and we as a giant of Africa, we're going to remain as giant of Africa. There's going to be peace here and prosperity for everybody.
The foreign assistance offered by the US, UK, and French government will no doubt boost the search and rescue operations.
The All Progressive Congress says by failing to visit Chibok, where over 200 schoolgirls were abducted by Boko Haram last month, President Goodluck Jonathan had betrayed Nigerians who voted him into the office. The party says the cancellation of the alleged planned presidential visit to Chibok was indicative of the Jonathan's administration's policy flip-flop in the fight against Boko Haram. In a statement in Lagos by his interim National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, APC says the Jonathan administration had bungled the fight against the sect and exhibited cluelessness in handling the abduction of the schoolgirls. The party explains that the president, with his utterances and actions or inactions, had deepened the pains of parents and guardians of the girls, and indeed that the whole nation, when he should have been the consoler-in-chief at such a difficult time for a nation he leads. APC accused Jonathan administration of lying to Nigerians by saying the president never planned to visit Chibok. The federal government has proposed an extension of the existing state of emergency in the three northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe. This is a result of the continuing attack by insurgents. However, some legal practitioners differ on the proposal as Nigerians await the decision of the Senate. Tamunoeme Speedy Bote has details.
As the emergency rule imposed in the three northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe enters its 12th month, the rate of attacks by insurgents continue unabated. The federal government has proposed another 6 months extension of the emergency rule.
We discovered that the state of emergency has not worked at all. We have all seen what happened. When you impose a state of emergency, it is to restore normalcy and peace within a particular section of the country where there is crisis. But with the state of emergency, it seems the crisis has been elongated and increased and improved upon by these terrorists.
As you are aware, the emergency rule or circumstances have been on for almost 1 year. And Now, the relevant question is this: having taken over the control of affairs of the state, by the federal government, what have the federal government been able to achieve? But the bottom line is this: it was glaringly clear that the different states, Adamawa, Borno, and the rest of them, that were taken over by federal government, so to speak, failed in their duties.
Nigerians differ on the proposal, which comes at the wake of the abduction of over 200 schoolgirls in Chibok, Borno State.
The president is trying, no doubt about that, but he needs to do more consultation with those people before. I would have expected that the letter will be, before the letter is written to the National Assembly, that there will be a consultation with the family, with the members of the community, the senators, the House of Representative members, even including the governors of those states, that look, this thing is going to expire by the end of this month. What do? We want to extend it. No, don't extend it. Extend it. Let us call the community. Let us do this. Let us do that. So if you look at the economic aspect of it, you will discover that most of the things that come from that side are not very expensive.
I think it's political. This is not something we need to play politics about. If there is anything I blame the government for, it's their, kind of lackadaisical reaction to the security issues. We relaxed and we rested on our oars until international communities. It took the intervention of social media stars, international stars and artists to begin to say, bring back our girls, before the president could do something. For over 1 week, the president was busy gallivanting. He did not give any press conference.
Legal practitioners also bear their mind on the dividing line between security and politics.
When you look at governance, part of the reasons why the government is there is for them to protect life and securities as guaranteed by the Constitution. So the government cannot sit back and watch the economic life, the social life, the political life destroyed by some elements, no doubt about that. But you cannot do that in isolation.
So I hear in the grapevine that the Northern Senators Forum, have stated that they will vehemently oppose such move. I think it's political. This is not something we need to play politics about.
Nigerians hold different views on the effort of the government in fighting insecurity, but hopes are being raised with the intervention of the international community to help tackle the activities of the Boko Haram sect. Tamne Miss Pidibote, CoreTv News, Lagos.
Thousands of people crammed into boats and army trucks fleeing their homes in Serbia and Bosnia after record rainfall turned the Sava River into a deadly torrent, causing worst flooding in more than a century. According to officials in both countries, the disaster has killed at least 44 people. Some towns have been completely cut off, and rescue teams feared the worst, as improving weather did not allow them to move in. Some 10,000 people have been evacuated so far from the worst affected areas of northern Bosnia. In the town of Samak, hundreds of stranded residents were waiting to be rescued. This is the worst rainfall since record began in the late 19th century. It has caused landslides that brought more destruction and also prompted a landmine warning. 20 of the 27 deaths recorded in Bosnia occurred in Bojaj, while the side of the Sava River in Serbia, at least 16 bodies were found. In the Serbian capital, Belgrade, dozens of schools and sports centers were turned into shelters for the thousands of evacuees who fled the disaster zone by boats, buses and helicopters. Ahead of the 2015 general election, the former military head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, has cautioned Nigerian politicians against overheating the polity. The former military ruler, speaking against the background of insecurity in the land, noted that overheating the polity would only lead to chaos and anarchy in the land. He also urged politicians to play the game according to the rules and accept defeat whenever the need arose. Babangida, in a message at the book launch entitled Fasting According to Islamic Law, authored by the Director General of the National Teachers Institute, Aminu Sharehu, held in Kaduna, stressed the need for politicians to accept defeat at polls and learn to prepare for another. The former military ruler's message was delivered by a former director of the National Directorate of Military Intelligence, Dansoho Muhammad, under Babangida's administration. And that's the news on the hour. There will be an update at 11 o'clock. I am Sheyi Martins. Good morning.